Racing to Win is your preview show for Hong Kong racing. We're about to preview the first of three meetings coming up here in Hong Kong this week, the second last week of the 22-23 racing season. It's great to have your company here on the show. I'm Tom Wood, joined in the studio by Paul Lally, and Paul, less than 48 hours on since Saturday night at Sha Tin. We're about to have another go round on Monday night. Yeah,
it's a night meeting, this one, but a quick backup, just the 48 hours between the meetings. Different set of horses, obviously. No one's backing up, but there's some really good young horses coming through the grades here, and we'll see those on Monday night. There's 4 jackpots to speak of. There's 800,000 going to the quartet first 4 merged pools for all the even numbers, so 2, 4, 6, 8 there. So some good betting types there, and plenty of opportunities for everyone.
But before we get into the preview of Sha Tin on Monday night, we have a special guest joining us via Zoom, and it is jockey Lyle Hewitson. Lyle, thanks for giving up some of your time on a Sunday afternoon. We know it's your off day, but you look to have got a pretty good book of rides coming up on Monday evening at Sha Tin.
Yeah, thanks. Always a pleasure. Not necessarily an off day, considering we sandwich in between 2 race meetings, but yeah, nonetheless, always a pleasure to be on the show, and well, hopefully you're correct. Hopefully they are good rides. You've got a full book. Let's touch on a couple of them that look to have certainly live chances. The first of them is Marvel Dragon. He comes up in race number 3 for Benno Jung. He's only a one-time winner, but how crucial was that point in the race halfway down the straight where you were held up last time? How much did that cost him? Yeah, look, I think he's a horse that doesn't necessarily have a strong dash. He builds up his revs and he stays on strongly. And yeah, just being sort of held up in that situation allowed them to sort of get away from me. Look, whether he could have run down the winners, I'm not so sure, but it certainly would have been a bit closer. It was a good run. However, he did have a lot in his favour with a good draw too that day. Yeah, what about this time round Monday night? You've got barrier number 7. Does that sort of dictate you have to go a little bit further back with him tomorrow night? I'm not sure which way it's going to work. It's either going to be a little bit further back or a little bit further forward. He does have the speed, but I'm not sure he's quick enough that first 2 or 3 strides. But I'll have to work it out with what's around me. If he gets into a good slot and is able to have a nice trip around that turn, I know that he'll be strong in the finish, and he will give us a good shout. He's trained by Benno Jung. Another Benno Jung runner you've got on Monday night at Sha Tin is Pulsar Strider. He's been able to win his last 2. Tell us about his last run. He jumped fast, and then he seemed to produce a really good kick on that rain-affected track last start. Yeah, his last 2 wins were on the rain-affected track. He had the top weight in class 4 with Zach, and won a good race. And last time, probably not by design again to necessarily lead, but I thought that after the way he jumped and the shape of the race, he could dictate pretty softly. He did have a bit of pressure on that turn, but I was able just to keep him together. And like you say, when I gave him a squeeze off that turn, he really picked up in the soft going and went on to win a good race. So he's obviously just in a good vein of form and enjoying the tracks at the moment. Flaming Rabbit going around in the final race for Douglas White. So how do you sum up his last start performance when he had the pull in the weights on Sore Vest and you were narrowly beaten? Yeah, obviously he was the one I sort of really wanted to get home that day, and it was a hard pill to swallow for him to get beat. However, to see in the soft sport that he pulled his shoe at the jump and was still able to put up that performance, that takes a bit of doing. So with that said, it was actually a huge run, and yeah, he needs to go one better now. He's £3 better off this week. Do you think he can turn the tables this week on Sore Vest? Yeah, I think he'll turn the tables on Sore Vest. I think that Peter Ho's horse will be a big danger. There's 1 or 2 others that he hasn't taken on yet, but he's a horse that probably should have won by now. Well, he definitely should have. He's a cut above. He's quite a nice type, and you know, being a mile would be more suitable, as we mentioned last time, but he's still good enough and sharp enough over the 14, and hopefully this day is his day. We're in the final throes of the 2022-23 season. Lyle, you're currently sitting 5th on the jockeys table with 46 wins, 31 seconds, 66 thirds. Sort of sum up your season. I know you do definitely want to try and get to 50 at least. Yeah, it's frustrating when you finally got that sort of number you want to get to, and then just seems like you can't get those winners on the board to get there. So the last 2 meetings have been close but no cigar. Been hitting the board and just not getting home in front. So Yeah, that's always frustrating. We've got a couple meetings left. Hopefully it means I'm going to finish with a flurry.
Well, thanks for joining us here on Racing to Win, and we wish you the best of luck with your 8 rides on Monday night at Sha Tin.
Thank you very much.
Now time to have a look at all the details you need to know for Monday night at Sha Tin. We do have a list of jockey changes for Matthew Chadwick, who has got some sort of a back injury after coming off a horse after the winning post on Saturday at Sha Tin. Race 1, number 14, Medic Elite, is Alexi Bedell. He lines up for his 20th start of the season. Super Class Race 2, Michael D. Mr Fun Race 3, Michael D. Race 4, Gluck Racer, Alexi Bedell. Race 5, Huge Win, it's Keith Young. Race 6, Street Scream, Jerry Chow. And then down to race 7 with California Voce, the change there. And those are the changes that you need to know for Matthew Chadwick for Monday night. But in terms of the track that we're racing on, it's a night turf meeting at Sha Tin. We certainly don't have too many of those, and we're out on the C course for meeting number 84 of 88 this season. And here on the show, we are looking at races 7 and 8. Race 7, Class 3 over a mile, and a very good contest to round out the night at 10 minutes to 11, the Class 2 over the trip of 1,400 metres. But first of all, race 7, here's the lineup. We've got Sunny Star going around. He's got the claim of Alice Wong taking £10 off. California Voce, Karis Teton rides. Helene Feelings drawn awkwardly in barrier 11. Bonza Perla, she hasn't done too much in her 6 starts to date. Beauty Missile has been runner-up from 6 starts on 3 occasions. CP Brave has got the blinkers going back on. The tongue tie cheek pieces off, leading Fortune, and further down Snaffles. E-Legend, Cherry's come up with barrier 4. Nicholson returns off a slight freshen up. Packing Knock Hill off a 9-day turnaround. Romantic Louse drawn awkwardly and entrusted at the bottom for Lyle Hewitson for Chris So. Pace in this race, Paul, will E-Legend likes to go forward, but he's going to have to maybe use a little bit of gas to potentially get there from barrier 13?
Yeah, look, at the horses on the inside, they all seem to go back. So Bonza Perla goes back, Sunny Star goes back. So as such, I think E-Legend, as you say, will have to work a little bit, but I think he can get across. Leading Fortune can come across with him and get into a nice position. And Helene Feeling, another one that's drawn wide, I think he can get into a nice position. So those 3 should all be able to get into handy positions and get their chance.
First runner we can have a look at for this race is Sunny Star, who's come up with barrier number 1 for Alice Wong. He's won off a rating of 80, this horse, Paul. He's off a rating of 78 here, and he was a horse that had a good enough run midfield on the fence, but it's been a wee while since he's been able to win one, but he hasn't had too many runs for Casper. No,
he's got the £10 claim. He's drawn barrier 1, but I think he'll get back. He hasn't won over the 1,600 metres at Sha Tin. He's a 2-time winner at Sha Tin, but a 3-time winner at Happy Valley. I just think he's a better horse at Happy Valley. He sort of really likes the tight circus.
Yes.
Circuit, I should say.
Yes, moving on to the next of them, and we can look here at Helene Feeling. Now, this was him when running second last time out, leading Fortune in this race as well, but Helene Feeling not done too much wrong at all in his 4 runs, Paul, including a win, 2 seconds in his last 2 outings, but barrier 11, I feel, just makes it that little bit trickier for him.
Yeah, look, I think he can get across, though. I think that's the key, is that sort of the first 100 metres. If he does get across, he's come here to Sha Tin. He just got bombed late by Ching here, and it was a really good run at Sha Tin. So I'm not worried at all about the Sha Tin course room, because his other 3 runs have all been on Happy Valley, and he's run well there as well.
Yeah, you can't forget about leading Fortune. He's a 5-time course and a distance winner. He's been running well his last couple of outings. Beauty Missile I referenced before. He's had 3 second placings from his limited starts here. Start 7 on Monday night. Also in this race is Cherry and Entrusted. I think Cherry should get a good run through from barrier 4, Paul.
Yeah, exactly. And look, he finished off nicely enough. There was a bit of rain around this day as well. So back onto it. Well, hopefully it'll be a try track for him. I think he can run well. Beauty Missile as well. So both these 2 horses go in for me, because I think they're both really good chances in this race. And Beauty Missile is knocking on the door a bit.
Could the key to Cherry be as well that he's got a good second up record, and that's the state he's presented here in?
Yeah, he's going to be a lot fitter after that run. There's no doubt whatsoever. And we'll see what sort of track conditions we do get on Monday night.
Moving on to the next of them, and this is E-Legend, who's got barrier 13, but should be able to lead here. Of course, this was the race that was won by A-Pal, and he stayed on well enough, I thought, considering this.
Yeah, look, he's a multiple winner in Class 4. He comes up to Class 3. He runs reasonable races without winning, so I just wonder if he's better served sort of back in Class 4. I mean, he just seems to be struggle. I mean, it's a strong form race, though, this one. Happy Day Lady ran well on the weekend.
He was very, very lucky to survive fourth there with about 6 or 7 other horses coming to dive bomb him late. So he did a good job there, I thought, did E-Legend. Next horse we're going to look at is California Voce. He's been up to Chungfa. First 2 runs were good. Last time out he copped a little bit of a bump at the start, and that sort of put him on the back foot right from the get-go.
Yeah, exactly. Look, if there is rain around, I think it'll suit him, because his best run was on that yielding track over the 1,400 metres. He does step up to 1,600 metres for the first time. He's run over the 3 runs have all been over 14, but the way he runs and the way he finishes off this trial, you think 16 will be okay for him.
And the trial did look very good there over the final stages from California Voce, and Karis Teton riding there for Tony Cruz. One more to highlight for this 7th race. It is Nicholson Returns, who hasn't been seen since the 7th of May. I thought he ran on quite nicely in this barrier trial here, and Lyle Hewitson rides for David Hall for the first time.
He does. Look, the thing that just worries me a little bit about him is his first up record after a bit of a spell. He hasn't won fresh up or second up, so he normally takes a couple of runs to get him ready. He's drawn barrier number 9. He was on the cusp, but I'm just happy to watch him. I think it might be a little bit of a stronger race for him.
You look at his record this season. At the beginning of the season, he ran 5th and then 8th, and then he was able to come out and run 2nd and to win his next couple of starts. Trainer here to follow certainly recently. Paul has been David Hall across the last 5 meetings. He's almost having his best ever season. He's
going well, isn't he, David? And look, Vamos still hasn't got that win on the board, but he always runs a bit of a race for you. Nicholson Returns. I think his best chance is definitely Flying Ace in the last. He's going really well at the moment.
Yep, certainly is, and here's a last start winner. We'll preview that race shortly here on the show. But Paul, your selections, what I thought was quite an open race, this one.
Yeah, it's a good race here, race number 7. I'm going to go with Helene Feeling. I think he can get across from barrier 11, and that could be the winning of the race for him. He's such a consistent horse. Cherry with that run under his belt. Leading Fortune, you can't dismiss him. He's very honest. And Beauty Missile, those seconds at his last few starts. So 3, 10, 7 and 5 here for me.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cherry. It might be a little marginal whether he comes up an each-way price in this race, but he does go well second up, this horse. Ricky Yu, stable again, has found a bit of form at the back end of the season after having a bit of a lull a couple of months ago, and Derek Long is riding here from barrier number 4. So 10 Cherry, over 5 Beauty Missile, again runner-up for him. He's been close up on numerous occasions, and now he's racing well. Helene Feeling's got barrier 11, but Zach Purton to hopefully overcome that. And Leading Fortune, just with his record in this class, course and distance, it's hard to leave him out. Will need a little bit of luck from barrier number 10 for Leading Fortune. So 10, 5, 3 and 7. On the other side of this break here on Racing to Win, we will be previewing the final race, which is a really good quality Class 2 race over the 1,400 metres on Monday night at Sha Tin. Stay with us. Racing to Win continues, and we're looking at the final race on Monday evening. It's a really good quality Class 2 race over 1,400 metres, the Kausai Chow Handicap. And here's the lineup with How Deep Is Your Love drawn awkwardly in barrier 13. Cheng Cheng Prince back onto the turf. Sylvester last start winner carries £132. Another last start winner is Flying Ace and also A Pal. Flaming Rabbit was beaten by Sylvester last time out. Galaxy Witness has got the blinkers off. Further down you've got Super Wind Dragon, California 10 and Explosive Witness there with Find My Love, who's won his last 2. Brave Hearts, it was a winner overseas. He won 3 of 6 at San Isidro, and he of course won the Grand Primo Carlos Pellegrini. And here's the speed map, Paul, from barrier 2. Where does he end up?
Well, I think he'll go back. His wins have been over a lot longer, and he hasn't shown too much speed in his trials here. So, look, I think Flaming Rabbit, he led last time. I think he can get across and lead. Amazing Victory can get the perfect run in behind. A-Pal won't be far away. So Best might just have to work a little bit if he wants to get across to the similar position that he was in last start.
That's the speed map for the final race. But a man that's got a 2-pronged attack in the race is Frankie Law. He's got 2 last start winners. One of them is Sylvester. The other one is A Pal.
Yes, last time is Class 3. He's got a good draw. So he looked like a more easier win the race. And this time he go up to Class 2 now, lightweights. But he still have a good draw. I think he's still in good form. I hope he can win good race also. You know, every horse after a breed, he need to take 3 months off, and we need to give him a break first, and then start again. Give him a light work, and then keep push. I think I gave him a 2 trial before the last race, but he's really lucky. Got a good draw, and the jockey ride him very good. So I got a good result last time, yeah. Sylvester, he have 2 times heart problem. 2 times heart problem, it takes 6 months. 6 months. So after the first start, he looked so okay, not too bad. And then last time he win the race. I'm really happy. And then I need to say thank you for the owner. He gave me time to look after this horse. Yeah. I think he got some gate speed. Maybe he will, same as last time, jump and try to go in front to see maybe 6 seconds. Same, I think really similar to last time.
Frankie Law going into the race with the 2 last start winners who both look to have great chances. We can move on and have a look at some Happy Valley form here with How Deep Is Your Love and Galaxy Witness. Galaxy Witness, Paul, wanted to over race at the back, but where does How Deep Is Your Love get to from barrier 13? I thought he just held his ground here at the Valley this night. Look,
he's gonna be a little bit wide. I think he'll be trying to find some cover midfield, and the other horse, Explosive Witness, look, he gets back. I prefer him at Happy Valley, Explosive Witness. He is coming here to Sha Tin, but I prefer him at the Valley.
In saying that, for How Deep Is Your Love, that was sort of one of the meetings at Happy Valley where they were struggling to make ground from the back. Next replay is Flying Ace. This was a very good ride from Zach Purton. Got back to the rear on the fence, got the gap at the 350, and he never looked back after that.
No, he didn't. And once he got into the gap, the horse won nicely. Look, he looked a really good horse in his earlier career. Sort of just went off a little bit, but he's bounced back now with this win. So, look, he's one of the main chances. I thought it was a very strong win here, and it's good to see him back. And Zach Purton, barrier 8, I think he'll try and find a midfield position here.
Do you think the step up to 1400 is going to be a plus as well?
The way he races, you'd think so. He's by Swiss Ace, so it shouldn't be a problem for him, the 1400 metres. And, look, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think, look at his record there, 8 starts, 5 wins. So he's going so well at the moment.
Yes, and he's one of many rides. Zach Purton with an embarrassment of riches on Monday night. A couple of Class 5 horses there, Soaring Tower and I Give, but Ladies' Choice, Paul, a last start winner. What about Unpresuming? Yeah,
I've been with this horse again. I think he can win. He's in this grade. He's going so well at the moment. Simple Head just needs to jump, and he's a big chance. Helene Feeling, we talked about that race. I think he's a good chance, and obviously Flying Ace. So every one of his rides are winning chances. There's no question.
Yep, they certainly are. He could be in for a big night. A few more replays to highlight for this good quality race to wrap up the night. Find My Love, you've always been a fan of this horse, Paul. He's really found his winning groove. He's actually back on 83. This is the mark he arrived on here.
Yeah, look, and it took him a while to win these 2 races. He was getting back, and he wasn't really finishing off his races. He does get back now, and he is finishing off his races. The last 2 wins have both been strong, and particularly when he won 2 starts ago, he showed a really good turn of foot. This was another really good run from him. So with a lightweight from barrier 1, I'm going to include him.
That is Find My Love, the 4-year-old by Frankel, and has provided Keith Young with a couple of winners towards the back end of the season. Another replay here, and this time we're looking at Bravehearts, who's a newcomer, a 4-year-old colt to come out of Argentina by Cityscape. Michael D. Jamie Richards, he's had 2 trials leading into this. Zach Purton was on board for this one.
He was, and you can see him. Look, the trial, he was a little bit slow away. Look, his best form's over longer. I think that's the key for him. I think this is just a starting point for this horse. Obviously quite a nice horse because he did hit the line strongly, but look, his last win, that race you were talking about, was 2,400 metres.
Yep, so he'll be looking for a bit further, one would think, than the 1,400 metres that is on offer here. So it's a good race to round out the program, Paul. Plenty of chances, a lot of last start winners, so it was probably a little tough to weed some of them out, wasn't it?
It was who you left out a little bit here, and look, I'm going to go with A Power. We heard there from Frankie, and I just think from the good draw, he was so impressive at his last start. So was Flying Ace. There's not much between the 2. Find My Love has won his last 2 in a row, and he's really found his feet here in Hong Kong. And Flaming Rabbit just beaten last time when he lost his shoe, so it was a really good run from him. And that's leaving out Amazing Victory, I think, is a really good chance as well. He would have been next in for sure. 5, 4, 11 and 6.
Yeah, I've gone with the Flying Ace here in this final race. I think the step up to 1,400 metres shouldn't prove any barriers for him here. 5-year-old by Swiss Ace, and won very impressively, courtesy of a very good ride last time out, Flying Ace. A-Power's got big claims in this last start to win. He hasn't won second up in the past, but he has certainly placed, and he got the gap. Took him a wee while to get that gap, and then once he did, he raced away for a big win. So he's second up. Sawvest drawn a little awkwardly in barrier number 12, but shouldn't be too far from from them. Of course, Flaming Rabbit this time round has got a £3 turnaround on the weights on him. Sawvest, and Flaming Rabbit, the other one goes in. He gets his opportunity here. He's got £4 or £3 difference, I should say, of course, on Sawvest, and wasn't able to quite do it last time out. 4, 5, 3 and 6. So those are the selections for the final event on the programme. But what about the other 6 races, Paul, part of the 8-race Monday night card?
Yeah, I think I've got Zach on top and 4 and second in a few of the other ones. So I think he's going to be in for a big night. Win 33's won off this mark before. Give's been downgraded. Zach's aboard that one. Poem Way, I think, he had clear excuses last start because he pulled up lame. Start before was very good. He's only had the 2 runs. I think he'll be at good value. Unpresuming's ready to win. Another Zach mount. Simple Hedge again with Zach on. He just needs to jump this horse. Excellent Fighter's going to get himself into a lovely position. Helene Feeling and A-Power we talked about. So all in all, it's a good card, but I think Zach Purton's got some good rides. He
certainly does. He's got the pick of the crop there. But out of all of those, Paul, who's the absolute standout?
Well, I'm not going to go with the Zach one because I think it'll come up short. I'm going to go with Excellent Fighter. He's going to get in a perfect run from barrier 6. Such a consistent horse of Vincent Hohen. We'll make the each way one here. Poem Way with Keith Young aboard. Just the 2 starts to date. And we'll do the play in the last. Good race this one. 4, 5, 11 QQP. Flying Ace A-Power and Find My Love.
Best for me, another Zach Purton mount here. Race 5, number 3, Simple Hedge. It's John Size. Zach Purton just needs to jump. That's been costing him crucially in his last couple. And Cherry might be debatable whether he comes up a decent price, but I think he's got a big chance second up of the play. We'll go the Zach Purton all up with the Simple Hedge. Excellent fighter there. Of course, he is a ride. Excellent fighter for Vincent Ho, and Flying Ace to end the card there, who looks a strong chance in that final race. That's just about it, Paul. But Monday night, Zach currently sitting on 163. He only needs 8 more to break that Joe Moreira record, and with that list of rides there, he's got a very good chance of giving that a decent nudge.
He definitely has. Look, he's got the momentum, and everything looks good. So touch wood. We'll keep an eye and see what happens over the next 48 hours for him, and then on to Happy Valley, of course, on a Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night meeting coming up at Happy Valley. 9 races there. Those entries are out on the website hkjc.com. And keep abreast of the weather as well, because it looks like it might be potentially a little bit wet for tomorrow night's card at Sha Tin. And we'll see how the track plays, Paul. The rail's gone from the B course to the C course. You needed to be near the fence on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get an idea of the pattern in the early stages, and we'll keep an eye on that for you. Just 8 races on Monday night.
Yep, and that is it. First race, 7:15 Monday night, Sha Tin. Bye-bye.